Hey, how's it going today? It's Frankie and I'm here with Random Movie Mondays. This movie is called The Worthy. Now, I'm not quite sure what to make of this movie. It wasn't too bad throughout. It's definitely better than The Contract. I mean, this is an action movie as well, mixed with sci-fi, but it just felt more of an action type movie. And it's kind of like I was watching a movie version of Fallout. If you've ever seen the series, that's a great series based off the Fallout games, obviously. And yeah, so I'm not going to mention every single bit in this movie, but there were some good bits to it. So basically, it's about this group of people that are living in some sort of like shelter, or whatever you call it, because like an apocalypse, something like that. Anyway, a dystopian or dystopian world, and they welcome in some visitors. Basically, it's a guy called Musa that saved like Shaib from like an attack or something like that happening, and he brings his wife Gibbon along. I'm sure if I'm butchering these names. It is an Arab movie, so don't worry for people that don't speak Arab. This is in English, so don't worry. I mean, unless there's people that do speak Arab and they want this movie in Arab only, then that's fair enough. It's your choice. And then, yeah, he saves them, and that proves to be a bad idea. And you know, this Musa guy, he starts like making a threat to Shaib, and he starts, fight with him, and then he stabs him after a bit of cockiness and arrogance from him. And this is why it's not good to trust people instantly. And then he starts to run off. He then begins to set traps up, which just made the movie good, I guess. I mean, he sets traps up kind of like when I think Dawood and Idris and I think Aisa go to like the water tower. And there's also traps up there that Musa built where the bottom part of it explodes, and the big water tower just tilts and it lands on Idris's it lands on him basically. And also Dawood gets his leg kind of like nearly sawn off, where it just shows all the bone. So a lot of that skin is shredded and bone. It's just bone shredded at the moment. And yeah, I don't know why he's going towards the water anyway, to be fair, but. And then this part really, it made me cringe a little bit, where you saw a lot of his leg got exposed, and it had to be sawn off just because he couldn't continue living like that. And they put, not even medicine kind of helped. Kind of reminded me of that scene in Saw, where one of the dudes had to chop his feet off because it got chained to it. That was a mad part in that movie, but there was also another mad part in this movie too. He also sets traps up kind of like, he sort of gets he ties something onto it. It was like he tied something where a woman sort of the woman sort of falls onto a trap door. I thought I saw a rope in that scene. I don't think it was. And then she sort of goes down to like a trap, and some guy called Jamal is there. Jamal was the guy that was living there, but then he got kicked out because he had an altercation with Aisa, saying, "Oh, you think you can follow your father's footsteps, but this place ain't good for you. You run on low water and stuff." He tried to warn them, but it proved not to be a good idea. And then he eventually did die when he got freed from like this underground bit, or whatever you want to call it. I have no idea what you want to call this, by the way. And yeah, it's another trial that Musa set up, and they freed him. But then they realized that because they freed Jamal, they thought, okay, they can't really take him back because Musa would know what happened. And that's when I think Aisa suffocates him or something like that. Raya was trapped in there by that man. That's her name. Raya was the one that was trapped in there to begin with. That fell through that trap door or whatever. And then somebody threw the fire down, which I assume was either Gibbon or like Musa put some flame in it. It caught on fire, and then Raya just sort of got burnt to death. Yeah, and I think Dawood. I think Dawood eventually did he. I think he might have died eventually. I think anyway. I think he probably did. He lost a lot of blood or whatever from the leg. I can't remember. I think he probably did. And then sort of another scene where I think somebody like gets shot or something. I think was it Aisha or something gets shot or whoever it was, and she sort of gets shot, and Miriam and sort of as like hanged as well, and Musa sort of like put that there's a trap like bait to lure Aisa in. And yeah, I thought there was a female Aisa, but Yeah, no, it's probably like a male Arab name or something for guys. I don't know. And then they sort of have a tiny bit of a fight, but Miriam sort of just sacrificed herself just to help Ais out in this fight. I wouldn't call it a big sacrifice, it's something she didn't need to do, but she did it just to distract Musa, I think, and then a bit of a fight. And eventually, Musa dies because from like some sort of gun that had a flame on it. I forgot what you call them type of bullets now, flame bullets or something, and it sets them on fire, which is common for him. And then Aisa goes like to who was it? Not Bilal. Who was it? I forgot who Bilal was actually, to be honest. But he was calling out for somebody, and Musa's wife sort of is the one that puts him kills that person, like throws the person over the landed on Rob or something. I think that's what happened anyway. And then she said it was all just part of a plan so that they could take over or something like that. I thought Musa's wife was going to be one of the good ones that wasn't who she thought she was, looked like innocent and looked a bit scared. It was all just an elaborate scheme just to confuse those group of people in the shelter. So quite a smart plan, and eventually she engraved something in his neck that actually it says the worthy in Arabic, I think, or the end or whatever it meant, and she sort of takes care of it. But then after Aisa sees her walk off, he goes to have something called a seer, and yeah, this bit here was kind of a bit interesting to say the least, because he started talking to him, he started to get all the information, just realised that I think these people were like the main people, they wanted superiority, something like that. Anyway, I wasn't quite paying attention properly as I should have. And then it ended from there. But I've got to say, Aisa's his sort of commentary and narration was actually quite good. I kind of like it. The introduction bit, the start of the movie, is just like a bit of an intro what exactly happened. And yeah, so there's not really much else to tell. There's not really much else to tell in this movie. A few odd good fight scenes here and there. I tried to remember best of what I can for what happened. Some dialogue was good. I like the dialogue in this movie. I kind of like the demeanor of the characters. Now the acting wasn't the best, right? But it certainly was quite decent. I think the acting wasn't too bad in certain departments. I feel like the demeanor of the characters were perfect. They had like straight good attitude, like strong attitude on them. Like they were really ready to fight kind of thing, and they didn't show any fear. That's what I kind of like. But then I kind of needed a bit more convincing from their acting. However, it wasn't too bad. I kind of liked the movie a bit, but not too much. I do think it was good in some parts. I just don't think it was good. It was that good overall. It's certainly not average. I'll give a bit of a clue on that one. I'm just trying to remember what other scenes there were, because I don't think there was that many fight scenes that took place, to be honest. But yeah, it's not really much else was going on in the movie, to be honest. Kind of disappointed that there wasn't really much action happening. There wasn't much intense fighting scenes. It was just bits and pieces here and there, but there's definitely a bit more going on than the Contractor movie was. The Contractor movie didn't have this intense action, just this type of scenes in it. It's just the odd fight scene here and there. Here it just had a bit intense and brutal scenes, which made the movie which actually didn't make the movie look too bad. I'll give him that one. It kind of did hook me a little bit into what was happening. I'm just trying to remember. I think that was pretty much a lot of good scenes that happened in this movie. This movie is also, like I said earlier, this movie is also like a good example of to not let people in, even though there's people doing good for you. That's the perfect way to actually get on people's side, is if you try and help them out somehow. Like when Musa sort of saves Shaib from like that attack, and it's kind of making me thinking, I wonder if that was his like men that set it up, and then he planned to kill him just to get on their side and just to get whatever supplies that they had, basically, which is quite a smart thing to do, because you're not gonna just fob them off that, are you? Okay, you said my life would go away, you'll still welcome them regardless. So it's kind of a strong lesson. Don't trust too easy even if someone is helping you out, being there for you. That's kind of a good lesson. Not in every case, but in some cases it can happen like that. That's kind of an easy way for you to get on the person's side because they helped you. That's all it needs. Like, he could just went in there guns blazing, but he chose not to because there's a lot more people around. So yeah, I don't think this isn't a bad movie. I don't think it's that good. Would I recommend it? Half. I don't know. I don't know if this is everyone's cup of tea. Some people might like this movie. Some people might like the concept of it. I like the concept. But I don't think it's that good of a movie. So I'm not sure if I'm going to highly suggest it. But I recommend giving it a watch. You know, it's quite decent enough. Now, rating for this. And like I said, I do apologize if I missed some stuff out. I mentioned the important bits of the movie and gave my review on it. So I do have to be a bit more quick with these type of videos. I don't want to rant on too much. That's usually probably why not many of you like my reviews out there, because I spend a bit too much time talking about them. I should just summarize it. Some movies I have no choice, because there's a lot of good stuff in a lot of these movies, but it's just how I describe them. So I struggle to try and summarize things quickly, because if a movie has like so many good scenes in, I mention them as much of them as I can, just so it gets people wheeled into like that, to want to watch that sort of movie basically, or show, depends show as well. So yeah, review, I'll give this a solid 7 out of 10. It's definitely nowhere near average. I think the quality of the movie, the storyline, some of the dialogue, some of the acting, some good scenes were good, some crazy, there were some good scenes where some odd scenes were brutal, which this film kind of needed. I think giving a 5 is unfair. I think giving a 6 would be a bit unfair. So I think it's in between 6 and 8. I don't think it's that good to be an 8, and I don't think it's that average to be a 6. I'm going to say 7. Improvements: have more crazy fight scenes. I think the acting needs to be better in some parts of the movie. Yeah, it would have been nice to have an ending where the entire time his dad was part of them, but then his dad left and they wanted to take revenge on him leaving. That would have probably been a great ending as well. Would have been a bit more. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought his dad was being part of it, but his dad kind of knew about it all along. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's one way I see it anyway. So I do apologize if I struggle to explain some scenes properly. It's just how I am. You know, when there's a good scene happening, I just struggle to explain it. If some scenes aren't in order, that's just me as well. But I have to mention the good bits, even if they're not in order. That's usually how I do things. That's part of like a review, basically, is to mention as much as you can. If you forget some stuff, just roll with it. That's what I usually do. So yeah, that's it with this video. 7 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, you know, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.